On this episode of Real Estate on the Rocks, we're going to talk about the 6 steps to hit any goal.
Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
That is right. I'm Dave Snowberger, joined in the studio today with my dog. That's so dumb. Marshall Tucker. Agent extraordinaire, Marshall Tucker. All right, and we got James Mendez. James has a new nickname. It is the Butcher.
What's going on?
Butcher. You'll have to tune in more to find out what the Butcher's all about, but James likes to just butcher episodes. We're going to have something someday like the Real Estate on the Rocks, like the Lost episodes, you know? And so he'll totally redeem himself.
Maybe one day they'll pop back up.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's saving them for the right time.
Yeah, man. So you know how we do it, how we like to do it is just get right into this, man. So we're always talking, we're always trying to help out with, goal setting and things like this. So today it kind of hits the nail on the head, you know? And so Marshall Tucker and I are going to be your hammers. I don't know why that's so funny. All right, so the 6 steps to hit any goal. Let's get into it. 6 steps. Let's make it happen, Marshall. So fix your mind on what you want, right? And so a lot of people talk about that. That's their big why, right? So why they're doing business or anything else. So let's narrow that down. Let's get back into your goal setting. Let's go with a specific goal. Let's go with one goal. You can have many goals, but let's make it one goal on this one right here. And so what does that look like for you? Fix your mind on what you want. Be very clear. Have a definitive goal. Be extremely clear. Have I made it clear to be clear?
Pretty clear, crystal.
Crystal clear. There we go. And so, we really want what we want, right? So let's talk about, because we're real estate agents, let's talk about what our goals is as real estate agents. So we know by the end of the year that everybody on the team has to have 10 transactions. Not a minimum of, not a maximum of, but 10 transactions is the goal, right? And so now we know clearly, and it's a team-wide goal.
No leases.
No leases. That's not a transaction in our view. And so we need a sale or a list, and you guys work more on the buy side. And so we need 10 buyers. And so it's roughly almost the end of October.
Yep.
I know that everybody I won't lay out what people have done so far to reach their goals. However, some of us are closer than the goal of 10 than others, James. And
I'm getting there.
And
I'm getting there.
And so, properties that are being built in 2021 don't count.
Hey, that was a good win.
There you go. As long as you look at it as a win, there you go. Right. It was a sale, so that's good. Yeah. You've got to earn some money down. So
it's a contract.
It's a contract. So here we go. Let's fix your mind on what you want. And so let's just call it 10. We'll just give them the examples of us. So 10 transactions, 10 sales, whether a buy side or a list side, a seller side, by the end of the year. The end of the year is December 31st. Right?
Right.
Okay. So, number 2. So that was number 1. Fix your mind on what you want. Number 2. What do you intend to give up to reach those goals? What do you intend to give up? So to get something, typically you have to give up something, right? So if this was a weight loss challenge, and you wanted to lose 10 pounds, you'd have to give up something to lose that 10 pounds. You'd have to give up pizza. You'd have to give up barbecue. You'd have to give up alcohol. You have to choose something that you're going to give up. And for realtors, typically what we're giving up is time.
I don't really see it as sacrificing time, though. I see it as an investment of time.
Yeah, I didn't say sacrifice.
Investment.
Yeah. But time, it's going to be less time with your family. It's going to be less money because more than likely to prospect and do those things, you might be spending a little bit more money on sources. If you've got something in your lead generation toolbox, such as like Mojo or, Red X or something like that, or you get your CRM you're paying for. So that's just more money that's coming out of your pocket. You're more than likely having to give up weekends. If you have to do 10 transactions by the end of the year, you're going to have to work some open houses or pick up some clients that can only view properties on the weekends, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, I wrote for fun, just sanity. Because doing 10 goals doing 10 transactions by the end of the year when you only have 2.5 months to do them it's not hard. It's not impossible. I'm sorry. I take that back. It is a little bit harder. However, it's not such an astronomical goal that it can't be met. It's not 100 transactions in 2 months, right? So it's very, very clear.
That'd be an unrealistic goal, right?
Right. But I mean, still, 4 transactions, say you do 2 by the end of the month, you do 4 next month in November, you do 4 the last month in December, and then you have to factor in all the holidays, right? So you're not going to be working a few days around Thanksgiving, Christmas. If you've got kids, the kids are going to be out of school, so you've got to pay a little bit more attention to the kiddos running around. There's going to be holiday parties that you and your friends or spouses or whoever else going to want to go to. That's probably going to make you start late the next day. I know it would in my world because state the obvious there. But basically your sanity. I mean, you're going to give up your sanity for a couple months to hit your goals. And 10's not that hard. So now we have a date and a deadline to hit this goal. That's number 3. And so we talked about that in number 2 a little bit. Is that we have a date and a deadline. So we know that December 31st is our deadline. And we set certain goals for ourselves. We actually put out a piece of paper, a contract with one another stating what we would do if we did not hit our 10 goals. And I know that, James has a very uncomfortable goal. We won't mention what it is. However, he has to cut $1,000 check to somebody that he just does not care for very much. And so that's very uncomfortable for him. So the object of the game there, when I did that and walked in with these contracts with everybody to sign, and I signed one also, was the pain. Was that the pain had to outweigh the pain of not doing the task, or the pleasure, and so, or the pleasure of hitting the goal would be not paying the damn check, to someone. Yeah. I've got you going, I can't quite remember who yours is payable to. Actually, I know who it is now. And it's another agent that's out there in the market, and we'll just say the U.S. He's definitely in the U.S. market. And it's someone that, for some reason, Marshall put there that he would pay this person $1,000. And I did the same thing. Somebody that maybe I haven't always seen eye to eye with, that I would have a huge amount of pain cutting that $1,000 check to, and then we even held our admin staff to it also. So they have to do their goals as well before the end of the year, or they've got to cough up some money. And the cool thing is they're paid by check, so they have no way out of this because I'm just going to withhold their pay, So I'll probably be taken up with the Texas Workforce Committee after holding their paychecks back. But all right, so number 4, create a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to create the plan, right? And so the plan is really going to be a summary of 1 through 4. Right. And so think about this as your GPS, is that you put this in, where you're going, the goal you want to hit, and now you know it. Now you know where you're going. Marshall, you want to expand on this a little bit?
Sure. So I guess part of the plan is writing it down, making it real. Because if you don't write it down, it's just not going to be real for you. If you don't see it every day, you're not going to sit there and do it. So that's part of it. So now we got, let me see up here, fix your mind on what you want and be very clear. We want 10 closings. What do we intend to give up? Well, like I said, we're going to invest some time. So I'm going to add some extra lead gen to the list. So from 9 to 11, I'm going to lead gen. From 5 to 7, I'm going to lead gen. You're going to write that down. And we're going to get the 10 closings by 12/31. So we have a clear end date for that. And so what is that going to look like for me? It's going to look like 2 appointments a week, for a total of 8 appointments for the month, because we know not all of those appointments are going to turn into closings. And that way I'm even closer to hitting my goal. I'm at 4, 8, 12. I only need 10. So I'm still overshooting just a little bit. And each time I come in for lead gen, I'm going to have a list prepared of the people I'm going to call. Think of your database, never-ending referrals, do the 2 to make sure everybody's touched and you're not losing any of that time that you're investing into yourself. Because after all, we're just leveraging 2 hours now, more money later on, more time you can take off later on.
Nice. So that's a pretty clear and concise goal setting on what you have and what to do. right?
Right.
And so there's not going to be a lot of paralysis by analysis in there, right?
And
so
you're going to hang it up so you can see it.
Right. And so what are you going to do every day when you hang that up? I mean, that brings us to really number 5 was, excuse me, number 5 was clear and concise on what to do. So number 4 gives you that, delivers on number 5, right? So we'll move right on to number 6 is, once again, our favorite is the fortunes and the follow-up. What does that mean when it comes to this is the follow-up. You read your written statement 2 times a day. You read it in the morning when you wake up, and you read it before you go to bed, right? And so you read it AM and PM. You can read it more than that, but it's a minimum of 2 times a day. And this helps you stay focused and just burn the image into your head. You can take a picture of the image of what you wrote down. Keep it on your phone. I've been known to make mine my backdrop on my phone. So every time I open it up, I can see my goals right there. You know, a lot of my goals all the time revolve around weight loss.
Good idea.
Not necessarily whatever, but I put my goal weight, what I want to hit, right? So I actually put a goal weight. So if I want to lose 10 pounds, that's better than saying I want to lose weight, right? Because if I lose weight, if I lose 1 pound, I've achieved my goal, right?
Right.
But 1 pound doesn't make a difference to really anyone. Well, maybe like a 100-pound man like James.
Hey, at almost 200.
Oh, damn. All right. So follow up on your written statement every day. This helps you stay focused, really, and just kind of keep on task to further move and have movement towards hitting your goal by December 31st. All right. And these can be goals. You can knock them down. You can do weekly goals. You can do monthly goals. However, I'm just giving you an example of our biggest goal right now for everybody to have the best Christmas ever. I can still say Christmas, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Best Christmas ever is to have 10 transactions. And here's a deal I'm going to make with my team right here at the table. If you hit the 11th transaction, I will give you $1,000 cash.
Oh,
so. Shit. And if you don't, you give me $1,000 cash.
There's that pain and pleasure again.
Yep. You just got double pain. So there was a study in Harvard that I had read about. It was that basically 100 people, and 3% of them wrote down their goals. And so they did this whole thing we're going through right now, 6 steps to hit it. They went through this. They wrote down their goals. They were clear and concise, right? 97% of the class did not do it. 10 years later, same study, 10 years later, they went back and they found out that the 3% of the people that wrote down their goals were 10 times more successful than the 97% that didn't write down their goals. Your goals manifest.
That's amazing.
Right? That's not magic. That's not the woo-woo fairy dust stuff. Your goals do manifest because they become real. You start working towards achieving those goals. You have a clear and concise map in front of you. I know he's killing me over here. I'm trying to stay on thought, and James is over here jacking with his microphone. Between his stomach and his microphone.
I don't know who talks more.
But, then at the end of all this, you just have to realize to have the life you want, you have to do the things that you don't want to do, right? And so there's the whole thing saying the whole time is like, do the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them at a high level. And that becomes part of this. But to have that life you want, you have to do the things that you don't want to do, that you aren't always willing to do. So
that and reevaluate it. Don't just set it and kind of like, all right, that's my goal, and then not look back onto it. I know you said review it every day, a couple times a day, yeah. But then as like the weeks pass, keep on, making adjustments as needed. Like if some things are not working as well as you expected, then kind of tweak those and maybe emphasize more on the things that are working better for you to kind of help you get that, path, to stay on a path that's moving you further down the road instead of keeping you slowly chugging along.
No, yeah, you have to. That was the whole thing about reading it twice a day, right? So, I mean, you have to keep up with it twice a day. Read it every morning you get up. And one of the biggest things that I've done in the past where I really liked was, actually I got this from Steve Foll, which is weird because I'm going to reference the shower here in a minute. Uh-oh. But, take your goals and write them out, and you can laminate them, or you can put them in like a plastic Ziploc bag and kind of hang them in your shower. So every morning you're there, you see them. Like I think I've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. Like I have a weight goal on my mirror every day where I brush my teeth, where I reach for my toothbrush. There's a goal right there. So obviously I brush my teeth every day before I get up. Well, not before I get up. That'd be pretty talented. Every day that I get up, I go and brush my teeth, right? And so in the morning, and then in the evening when I'm hanging it up that night, I also do the same thing. Is I reach for the toothbrush again, and it's right there. So it's always there. So that's the reminder, really, that you're going to Orange Theory in the morning, right? You're gonna crush it. You know, and I brush my teeth before Orange Theory, and it's like, you know, boom, and I see that rare, and it's like reminder of that's why you're going to Orange Theory.
Keeps you on track.
Right. And so, I mean, that's been my biggest thing is always just kind of like the health kick side of this is that, you know, as I get older in life, I realize that, you know, I spent a lot of years not taking care of myself, you know, and so how I can get that back really is kind of dedicating, you know, my most important thing right now is really my health, because without our health, we don't have anything. We can have all the money in the world. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. He didn't have his health.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is not with us anymore,
Yeah.
you know? And so
That's one thing that'll catch up to anybody, no matter how successful or anything you are in life.
yeah,
Health will always
It's
keep you in check.
just what is the longevity of this? So I mean, I would make a lot of these things is you can apply this to the 6 steps to hit any goal is apply it to your health, and then everything else will just fall in line. And once you do it once and you set maybe a monthly goal, and then you hit that goal, you'll see that these 6 steps really work.
Yeah.
You know, and it like I said, once again, it's not magic. You know, it's not. It just didn't manifest and thoughts become things. I mean, they do. If your thoughts are written down on paper, they do become things, because those are the goals that you're striving for every day.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I
Because
think
purposeful action.
writing goals
towards
is
that.
super important, you know, and I think keeping track of your goals, I think, you know, having an accountability partner is huge.
Not skipping any of the steps.
No.
They're important.
No, and realtors are infamous about skipping steps or
Cutting
always trying to
corners.
think thing. I mean, we're a part of a lot of real estate groups out there, you know, and some of
Yeah.
the biggest ones into some of the smallest ones. And everybody's always the questions don't stop with the easy button questions, right? So, you know, from buying leads from, you know, Zillow, or if I had $1,000 a month, you know, like what's the best investment for this? And some people say coaching. Some people say, you know, lead gen, go with Zillow, go with Realtor, go with Red. No, I don't know if Redfin does it anymore, but, you know, go with one of these companies out there and hit the easy button until you don't have to hit the easy button anymore. But here's the thing. Leads are like crack, right?
Yeah.
And so,
It seems like that's the one of the common questions that you see almost, if not daily, almost every other day, is from, especially from newer agents, or even I've seen some more, you know, seasoned agents, it looks like, coming back, and their main question is, where can I buy leads? Where can I get the leads? Or where can I pay somebody else to get leads?
Where can I buy the fish
Yeah.
instead of going fishing for yourself?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change. And I mean, that
That's
hasn't
crazy.
really always been that way.
I was just going to ask that. Since obviously being new, has it, like before the past couple of years, has it been a big trend that people just automatically go for the buying? Or is
Yeah,
it just
'cause
kind of
it's-
like manifested that way?
No, it's certainly the easy button on things. And I mean, Zillow hasn't been around forever. I mean,
Yeah.
Zillow, I don't know how old they are, but I would say let's go back before the crash, right? Before 2007, 6,
Yeah.
somewhere in there is where they started doing this stuff. And they came out with this website, then they repurposed the leads, and the leads were super cheap at first. And then they got more expensive and more
Yeah.
expensive. And now they're doing stuff. I've heard their pilot programs are to where, you know, they want 50% of the commission, you know, for handing you a lead. And I mean, I think they're scrubbing the leads for you too, which more people want these days too. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. Like here it comes. Like I just don't get it. You know, like what the hell you're doing in this business if you don't like having conversations with people, right? If you don't like reaching out to people, you know, and trying to solve their problems at a high level. Like I just don't get it, you know? And so the industry as a whole doesn't have a lead problem. There's leads out there everywhere. You know, there's low hanging fruit everywhere, but it seems like agents aren't wanting to do the things that they have to do to convert those leads or to follow up with those leads, or they're just happy at no. You know, they hear no or not right now or whatever else, and they don't hop back on and follow up with these folks. You know, and that's bit us in the rear end before. I mean, we're speaking from real experience right here. Everything we bring you to this podcast is from our experience typically.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's our opinions, our experience that we bring to the table. And Marshall's had this happen. I can't tell you how many times when we're rolling down the road, and it was like, you know, I'm on his butt all the time as his team leader. Hey, have you done your follow-ups? Have you done this? And he says yes. And then all of a sudden, he comes in and I see he's completely depressed. And I mean, I've worked with him side by side for coming on 4 years now. So I know when his mood changes, and it's like, dude, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, so-and-so, they bought a house. And I'm like, what? What was that? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he tries to make some cockamamie story up about how, like, you know, how I followed up like to a T with him.
They didn't want to
stopped
destroy
about 3 months ago.
They didn't want to destroy our friendship. That's what it was.
Yeah. So it's always something. But however, it's typically, you know, it was us not following up at the highest level possible, right? And so I can't tell you how important that is to follow up. However, that's not the point of today's podcast. But I want everybody to write down their goals, you know. And in our coaching program, that's one of our biggest things. Is I talk about you a little bit. I see what your interests are. I see where your goals want to go. We write them down together. You know, you call back in every week. We talk for 30 minutes and we kind of hold you to those goals. And that's what a coach does. You know, I can also give you actionable tips and tricks, really, not really tricks, but just kind of, you know, on what works in our business, the things that you have to do out every day to go earn people's trust, to get them to like you, to get them to know you, so they'll do deals with you. There is no magic in any of this stuff. It's just really all about doing the work.
Consistently.
We're going to do a whole episode on consistency pretty soon. I think that'll be Monday's episode, is we're going to go ahead and go hard on consistency, because as a team, we lack consistency. So I want to talk about consistency, and me throwing a lot of things out on the table about consistency hopefully brings my team around. And I know if we're struggling with it, everybody's struggling with it, because we're always on to SOS, right? Shiny object syndrome. What out there can do, what can do it easier for us, what can do it for us, what can do it faster for us, you know, and provide the same results. You know what I found out is? Nothing beats the hard work that we have to put in every single day. We can go by the leads, but that doesn't help us convert them or follow up. We still have to have the consistency of following up every day.
And buying the leads every day.
And buying leads gets really expensive. And like I went down the path a minute ago and said that they were like crack. It's because you're going to be so codependent on those leads. Not that I've ever smoked crack. That's
I hear it's bad.
From what I hear.
From what I read. Yeah. So it's really just hunkering down and doing those things that you want to do. If you don't like calling people, Kyle Whistle, you know, I just kind of was reading on his page. He's got that great page out there, the Whistle Training Group or whatever that is. And he was talking about, you know, being a realtor that doesn't make phone calls is like being a barista that doesn't make coffee, you know? And then he had one early this morning. It comes across my feed, and it was another kind of aha moment. Is like, would you rather be? What are you more afraid of, being hung up on, or not having, you know, food on the table? Like more people are worried about being hung up on than where their next check's coming from. So, you know, that's a scary thought. Is that, you know, when we're in a business that's full of prospecting and relationship building, and you rule out the phone, like, I get it, man. People don't like the phone. I get it. But you have to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to hunker down and you have to sit there and get it done. Go in a room. Oh, I don't want people to hear me. You know, what if I say something stupid? You're going to say something stupid. I did. I still do. You listen to my podcast? I do it all the time.
That's like people not wanting to get their picture taken. People see you.
Yeah.
You're
people are going to
around.
meet you. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's people that don't want to turn around. Like, you guys know, and I showed James, because James is probably the most timid video there is on our team, right? Besides our staff. Is I showed him, I got a lead in the other day, not a bot lead, but a referral. Turned the phone around and I said, "Hey, Julie." Her name was Julie, obviously. But hey, Julie.
Made up to protect the innocent.
I said, "Hey, Julie, my name's Dave Snowberger. I'm with a Snowberger Realty Group over here in Austin, Texas, and you were referred to me by so-and-so, and I would love to talk to you about, your expectations of selling your property, and just give me a call back and tell me what's a good time for us to meet." Boom, sent. Wrote back. I can read you the text. Maybe I should have done that, but it's kind of impromptu. Was, "Oh my God, I love this video so much. Can you do tomorrow at 10 a.m. at my house?" Yeah, and it's just like, absolutely. I'm not running out the door. It gives me time to research the property, you know, and it cued into a text that 30 texts later, I know so much about her and her goals and everything she does. And right off the bat, I walk into a situation where she has a whiteboard. Guess what? I'm a whiteboard guy too, you know, and she has every agent she's talked to so far broken into different parts of the whiteboard of who they are, what brokerage they're with, how much basically she's going to net, what they recommend her selling it for, and everything else. But here's the thing: is that she went in there and wrote all this stuff down. No other agents had been in there, so people weren't one-upping each other on price. Like I can get 500, and like so that I would see that on the board, and she had on there 5.25 on one, and I was like, yeah, 5.25 would be a stretch. I think we need to be at 4.99. You know, and you know, it's just it was different opinions from 5 different people, and in the end, I got the referral. And so that was one thing that I brought up, was that one of your good friends referred me for a reason, right? And so here I am, and I just went in there and I showed the things, but lost track of why we were telling that story.
Oh, how video is important and
video,
how it works. Yeah.
But video is helping me achieve my goals, because now I'm at 7 deals out of the 10, and it's not even out of October yet, right? And so I'll state that I'm leading the board. These guys at the table probably think that's easier for me because I've been in the business longer, right? No, that's not it. It's that I'm going out and I'm finding the deals. I'm putting myself out there every day between any kind of social media content, speed to lead. When those leads come in, I respond quick. Most agents don't. You know, when we first had James on our team, it was like, hey man, did you hit that lead? He's like, oh no, man, I'll call him here in a while. I'm like,
that was 3 days ago.
It's Thursday, bro. You know, I gave it to you on Monday. We came in after the weekend. The leads were on the hopper. I put them out to you, and then you still haven't called them. And that was because of inexperience. And as soon as I realized that, I worked with James a little bit more on that, right? Yeah. I put him in Marshall's care. Marshall's the sales director for the team. It was kind of like, you know, hey, Marshall, we really need to work with James hands-on and teach him the speed to lead. You know, and typically agents find that to be super uncomfortable. They want to prepare to get ready to call the lead. Well, by the time you call that lead, they're gone. Think about this. When you're at a computer doing something specific and you're researching something, you're researching it at that minute, correct? And if you click on that, you want more information and nobody gets back to you, and 3 days later, they get back to you, you're probably not in a position to, 1, take that phone call, 2, to remember what the hell you were even looking at or the details of it. And so the call becomes very unwelcome. Right. And people don't know why that you're calling them. You've stated this in the past. Well, I called them and they said that they weren't on the website. They don't remember 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean.
Right. We'd be at lunch somewhere and the phone rings and it's like, oh, I got to go. I got to step out. Yeah. Step outside real quick and take that call because they're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
My phone sat on, the other day we were at lunch in Temple, Texas. We were at lunch, and right when the lunch came out, my phone rang. I stepped outside. I got in my car because it was 180,000 degrees outside. So I got in my car real quick and sat there and talked to them for a little bit. Guess what? That transaction's closing tomorrow. Or I might have closed today. But that transaction's closing tomorrow. That's 488,000 just from picking up my phone and going out and taking it. When I came
Being
back,
present.
Yeah, came back, my food was cold. Do I care? No.
Nope.
So
yeah, that was a good one.
Still fill my tummy up, and I just kind of, with the referrals we've been getting lately, it's that speed to lead. And I know that I'm not the only agent out there. That's the other thing with the most agents don't realize, that when they do get a Zillow lead, you're not the only agent with Zillow getting that lead.
Yeah.
With any kind of lead stuff, you're not the only person. The lead companies are smart. They're going to give it to whoever can convert it. They're going to give it to a few people that will go out, and the follow-up. That's why follow-up is key. One, the person's still more than likely at task doing whatever they were doing, searching for information.
Yeah.
Right. And so the second to that is that it shows that you were first. You beat everybody to the punch. And if you have a good enough, real estate pitch, really kind of like why you want to do business with me, why you're going to like me, know me, like me, trust me, and do business with me, and I'm here to solve all your problems. And if you have that wrapped up within 2 to 3 minutes, and you can have that conversation, then you've won that.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then that helps your relevancy with whoever you're buying leads from.
Yeah.
Is Zillow's going to give you more leads if that's the way you're doing these things. If not, if you're lead generating yourself and you just like Zillow, I get it. So do we. We do pay for leads.
But we supplement with the leads that we go get.
Right. But we pay for leads. I mean, but think about how we do that through marketing. Everybody pays for leads.
Right.
But we attract a lot of attention to us. There's not really any tasks we do other than open houses, for sale by owners, expireds, withdrawals. I mean, we pay for the MLS. That's how we get expireds and withdrawals. Mm-hmm. Right. We pay for the internet here. So that's how we get FSBOs. Mm-hmm. And so, we're still paying for leads in a sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm not knocking anybody for paying the stuff. But, it's just really kind of got to drill down on what profits your product, right? So what activities are profitable to you? If you're paying for a lead service and you're not following up with them, you're wasting your money paying for the lead service.
Yep.
So I don't care where you get leads.
Yeah.
I think there's much more effective ways to spend $1,000 a month. Spend it on coaching. If you want to know more about coaching, call me. 512-773-6461 is my direct number.
Nice. Nice one.
Did you like that? Did you like that?
Slid that one in there. I was like, I was like, where's he? Oh, all right. There you go. There you go.
Most people listening to this probably think I have some script in front of me and just kind of like random stuff. Other than our whiteboard, we map out all this stuff. And by the time we're done writing it, depends on who's writing it. If it's me writing it, it looks like hieroglyphics. If it's Marshall writing it, you need the Hubble telescope to see it. You know? And then James writing it, it's all over the board, so you don't know what the hell. There's no flow to it. Yeah,
Hey,
there's no flow.
it's legible though.
It's legible, but there's no flow to it. So you're just kind of like, huh?
You got to draw arrows.
So it's like I walk in here and I'm reading the board. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'm reading exactly what's on the board sometimes. And then one of the lines earlier was like, I need a shirt. And it was like, what?
I had to erase that from, I forget. I think Marshall wrote that up like months ago.
I don't remember why we wrote that.
Yeah. So if you need us for anything, you can reach us at Top Shelf. Just text Top Shelf to 88000. Top Shelf to 8800. One of us will get right back to you and kind of see what's up with you. If you're interested in EXP and you want that 7-minute video that you can't unsee once you see it, call me. No, actually text me at Join EXP. Join EXP, all one word, 88000. I'd like to thank Mike Harrell always for making this possible. One of these days we're going to get him on this episode. I've been saying for 95 episodes we're going to get his butt in here, but if you want to reach Mike, guess what? He's got a new way to get a hold of him. Magic Mike at 88000. I don't even know if he knows if he has that yet. But it's Magic Mike at guaranteed rate, right? Now, Mike's fantastic, man. He killed another one for me.
And we're gone.
We didn't time that right. All right. Next time. We'll see you. Bye.